For 8 years, I thought it was all my fault. This is prosecutor Seo Ji-hyun, the role model for many women that mustered up the courage to speak out for themselves and began the hashtag #MeToo in South Korea. In the year of 2018, outraged by Ms. Seo's experience, women started to speak out about their experience similar to Ms. Seo's, and this was the first time women's voice in South Korea started to be heard. So, what exactly happened in South Korea? What caused this to happen? Let's rewind for a moment. South Korea, ranking the highest wage gap between gender among 29 developed countries, thinks of feminism as a dirty word. The Economist ranked South Korea to be the worst country for women, and female employees that are encouraged to have drinks after work frequently get sexually harassed. Singer Son Na-eun, a member of A-Pink, had to defend herself from promoting feminism just because she took a photo with a phone case that said girls can do anything. Only 70% of the National Assembly are women, and according to Ms. Seo, the best compliment for a female prosecutor can be "you are as good as a male prosecutor." Hashtag #MeToo is a campaign to advertise the seriousness of sexual harassment, and it started when the Hollywood actress Alyssa Milano talked about her experience. Prosecutor Seo got inspired by this and talked about her experience at a funeral in 2010 when her colleague wrapped his hand against her waist and stroked her hip for a certain amount of time. Women in South Korea got encouraged by Ms. Seo's confession, as prosecutors are a highly ranked job. Females thought that if she can talk about her experience, they also can. There is a traditional criteria of women, and women are expected to live up to that expectations, whether that is the behavior of females or the beauty standard. Without the fixated image of women, there are numerous sexual assaults in South Korea, and feminists in South Korea think that this culture and this aspect of society of South Korea should change. They also thought that they wanted to get rid of the disadvantages females were having in their society. Eventually, the hashtag #MeToo movement became the largest women's act that has happened in South Korea. After Ms. Seo's interview in JTBC, January 29, 2018, females in South Korea started to take action. After Ms. Seo confessed her experience about her experience of sexual assault made by the former Ministry of Justice official in a TV interview, women started to realize that it wasn't their fault that they got assaulted. The biggest and most direct goal of hashtag #MeToo was to cause awareness of sexual assault that is happening in South Korea. Women started to use an anonymous app called Blind to report accusations and put their cases in trial. On February 2nd, 2018, only a day has passed since people made the hashtag #MeToo notice board in that app. Even in that short period of time, over 400 accusations were made, and an accusation was made every 2 minutes about people's experience of sexual assault in their workplace. These are some examples. In a meeting after work where employees have drinks together, when I refused to take a drink, my boss grabbed my wrist and said, "How dare you refuse me?" My boss always asked me inappropriate questions about my relationship with my girlfriend, such as how many times do you do it in a week, and do you enjoy doing it? Besides using the anonymous app, people started to do street protests regarding sexual assaults towards women. In one rally, there were over 70,000 women protesting. Overall, during this social movement, lots of people got accused, including famous people. This includes the former presidential candidate An Hee-jung, poet Ko Eun, director Kim Ki-duk, actor Lee Myung-hae, theater director Lee Yoon-taek, and so much more. Some of these people got sentenced to jail, and this was because several women stood up and stirred up the courage to talk about their experience. The hashtag #MeToo movement surely had many positive effects in South Korea. There are many stories that offenders went to prison or removed by workplaces, and President Moon approved the movement and stated, "Cannot solve this through laws alone, and we need to change our culture and attitude." Not only women that got assaulted gained their voice to speak up, but younger generation females started to talk and be aware of their rights. Although many believe that hashtag #MeToo was a massive social movement towards gender equality in South Korea, closer examination shows that it didn't bring much change, as it didn't have legal changes, feminism started to get backlashes, and issues regarding gender are still occurring. Even after the #MeToo Act, there were no legal changes made, and many offenders of sexual assault were released. As an example, Anna was encrypted 10 cases because the court said that the victim's testimonial was incredible and it was one-sided. South Korea permits many perpetrators to avoid serious penalties about their crimes. Out of 1.16 million family abuses over 4 years, only 13% of them got arrested. Police and prosecutors often ignore a lot of cases that females encounter, and these mishandled cases traumatize victims and deny them justice. Even so, the person that provoked the Me Too movement in South Korea transferred to a provincial office and was treated as a troublemaker there. Sew's assailant was sentenced 2 years of prison, but he came back to do a retrial in the Supreme Court. The law currently is denying rape as violence and forces victims to prove that they fought back with all their might. The backlash feminists are having is surprising after the Me Too movement. A group of angry men even protested about the Me Too movement in Korea. They believe feminism is about gender discrimination, and according to a poll that surveyed 1,000 men, 76% of men in their 20s, 66% of men in their 30s oppose feminism. Moon Sang-ho from Dangdangwei, an anti-feminism protest group, says that they should take time and effort to crumble feminism. They claim that females have many privileges and men are actually the ones that are suffering from gender issues. They complain about the mandatory military service men have to attend, and this is just making males hard to get a job and compete with female employers. The reason women get privileges are because of the mistreatment females are getting. This is not giving women advantages but decreasing the disadvantages. Nowadays, there are still a lot of cases regarding women's rights, such as spy cams and domestic violence, but one of the biggest cases that shows the lack of rights females have is the Ensroom case. This incident is online sexual violence against women, where the assailant blackmailed females, including teenagers, to send sexual and violent pictures and sent them to chat rooms that he required money in order to join the room. Surprisingly, the estimated participant for this horrible case is 260,000 people. There are several petitions to reveal these participants, but they say it's not possible because of the protection of human rights of suspects. Even though this incident is a horrible case for both men and women, the police are refusing to reveal the names of participants. It is true that South Korea is slowly gaining gender equality and gaining rights compared to the past. However, there were still mistreatments, and even though the Me Too movement made a lot of people aware of the problem, it had a lot of negative effects as well. I hope South Korea would overcome this problem and make a society where men and women do not fault each other.